Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh Shem Shai by Shem Rukakwadash. Shalom to the 144,000, the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. I'm going to entitle this video, If This Counsel or This Work Be of Men, It Will Come. If this counsel or this work be of men, it will come to naught. So let me come to this video right here. Okay. Just let me come down. Okay, there's one comment was put up by the apostle Ramlab, Zechariah 13:6, and one shall say unto him, What are the wounds? What are these wounds in thine hands? And he shall answer, Those with which I was wounded in the house of my friends. So I wanted to kind of cover. I did this video 5 hours ago, and right about at this point, this is 11:26. So this is a video that was put up by that Vocab did, and he's kind of letting the video play, and he would stop and then he would put his 2 cents in. And this is from the interview with Sam Kestenbaum. So right here, this is when he's at the point of how the house of David. This was after we got kicked out, after they kicked out King Marshall, and there was other groups that was a part of that group that kind of fell off, got kicked out, so they became reservoir dogs. Look that term up. And then they even went against each other. Now, at about this point in the video, maybe you can come back. Vocab is talking about how they made the people eat ham sandwiches. Actually pork in general, not a ham sandwich. So Vocab Malone says he said he didn't know what was going on because he saw I wasn't there, but he said they tried to kill him in a dream because he came against that thing of we don't got to keep the laws, but he was down with it because he called me after the split, after he left because he thought they were going to kill him. And he called me. I believe that was 20. It had to be 2021. And he's trying to put everything back together. So there was a point in time where they wasn't teaching. They were not teaching because there were so many splits. They all went their separate ways. So at that time, because there was a Simeonite brother that was going to their classes and coming to me, telling me what was going on. And he said that he told me that they don't go out and speak, that they don't have to go out and speak, and they can prove with the scriptures. Come to find out, when we was out there strong, they would set up camps up the block, across the street from us or whatever. Another thing was told to me that about the laws, that we don't got to keep the laws, we're under grace, and you got to prove that you're not keeping the laws by eating pork in front of us. You have to prove your lack of faith. Say it that way. So Vocab said, he said to this individual, I was against that we don't got to keep the law thing, but he was with that because he told me on the phone when he called me. He said he went into details on how the school, broke apart. He first said that one of the things that they pushed out a lot of decrees, wicked decrees. One thing that they pushed out, and this is Bishop Nathaniel talking to me. He says, yeah, if you have a woman, she has to be in the truth. If she's not in the truth, give her an ultimatum and then drop her. So the only one that had a wife in the truth was Bishop Nathaniel. So Yasha and the rest of them, they talked to their wives, tried to get them to wake up, They didn't wake up, so they just, look, baby, this is it. I'm leaving, packed this shit and left. Where you going? Where you going? I'm out of here. Now, when you go to 1 Corinthians chapter 7, the Apostle Paul said if you have an unbelieving wife or a wife has an unbelieving husband, you can remain with them if they're happy with being with you. And see, a thing that's done, and I'm pretty sure it's done in this school, if there's a woman that believes she comes to school, she got a husband that's a Muslim, they're going to say, look, baby, you got to cut him off. Give him an ultimatum and cut him off and then get you an Israelite, which is adultery. The next thing that they did, the straw that broke the camel's back, as they say, is they made a decree that we don't got to keep the laws. We're under grace, but you got to prove. You just can't tell me you don't keep the laws. You got to prove that you don't keep the laws by eating pork in front of us. Now, how wicked is that? This is Bishop Nathaniel telling me. So, vocab, so you can understand vocab, know you're watching. He took it as Bishop Nathaniel wasn't with that. No, he was with it. And when he woke up and realized he was going off, is when them 14 individuals, men, not women, because women said, no, we'll eat pork. They didn't come back. That when they made the decree, them guys said, they didn't say nothing. They went. They probably had little gathering among themselves. They said, look, this is the truth ain't here. We out of here. So when he realized that there was 14 men, the number was 14 men, he realized that he was going off. Then he said, no, we got to keep the laws, this, that, and the third. So you can understand. And I told you that when you came out to New York. You forgot. You didn't write it down. So anyway, let's listen, and I'm going to give you a handful of precepts. See, we kept teaching. But all these splits and things, we kept teaching. There was a point where they kept calling these emergency councils on a Saturday where we speak. So it's okay. It's emergency council. We'll go down there. We'll not go to the camp. Then the next week, another emergency council. Every week there was an emergency. So we couldn't speak. So I said, this is bullshit, man. So the best thing that happened to us was for us to get kicked out. Like Paul said, something to the effect of, so we can have free course. Because they put yokes on you, man. Oh, we got a special meeting. Man, fuck a goddamn meeting, man. Every goddamn week you got to have a fucking council meeting. Just do the work. So now, I'm going to say this, and I open with this precept. if this counsel or work be not of the Most High, it shall come to naught. So it did. The house of David came to naught. The 12 tribe production came to naught. So from the time that they split from the main school at One West to from the house of David to the 12 tribe production with all the other splits, and he was out there all by himself. He got with Canaan, started all over, and they called it Israel United in Christ, IUIC. Is the Spirit with them now? They kicked us out. Remember, they kicked us out because of the Cornelius thing. And now they teach that Cornelius is an Israelite. And they look at you like you if you can't see that Cornelius is Israelite, the Most High ain't dealing with you. Well, the Most High wouldn't. When did the Most High ever deal with you? This is why this gathering, the IUIC, and this is the Spirit. Got all kind of brothers doing videos. You even got, you know what? Hey, for a minute there, I said, wait a minute, man. Maybe Vocab is an Israelite after all. You finally made it, Buster. Because he said, he got mad. He said, stop. He said, stop. Tell the truth. Stop lying. He got mad. From his inner core, he got mad. Because he sees, and then, Vocab Malone made a statement. He said the most honest camp out, he called us the worst camp, but then he said the most honest camp out there is GMS. That's what he said a couple of years back when he met us. He said the most honest camp out there is are the men of GMS. So he sees, he sees certain things. So anyway, let's let this play. You heard it before, but you're going to hear it again. Let me mute this.
A lot of prostitution because our people are poor.
I'm sorry, let me set this up. I'll bring it all up, bring back here. Okay, let me set this up. This is the time when he goes into the guy having a dream about beating him to death with baseball bats. A long line of people. You know how you got the baseball bat and you kind of hit it in your hand with that mean look. So the guy was telling me he had a dream that we beat you to death, and when you die, we went up to the kingdom of heaven. So now when we were with them, they had a thing where they went places. They went to Atlanta, they went to this place, they went to that place. And we couldn't go to no place because they had control of the money. They had this guy, Zombie Bond, the guy with the Hamitic kid. He was the treasurer, so they had their little clique going. So they had that money to go places, and they were enjoying themselves. They went to different places to go out and enjoy themselves. All right? They didn't pay for their own food. The money from the, collection. So now there was a thing where they were used to going to places, so they said, we're going to go down to the DR, Santo Domingo. Now, mind you, at that time, their thing was, we don't got to go teach on the highways and the byways. In other words, they wasn't teaching in the States, but they would jump on the plane and go down, and eventually they went down to the Santo Domingo. And these guys that went down there, basically they were jet setters, and the Spirit wasn't working with these guys. Because of all places you're going to go down to the DR, as fine as them women are down there. So they went down there, it was 11 of them. You're going to hear it again. And they all, they all lay with these pros. And then you're going to hear it. They're going to come back and say, we're not going to do this Bible stuff no more. And the rest of these people wanted to kill them according to their dream. So Was the Most High ever with these dudes? And if the Most High was never with these dudes from the time of House of David to from the House of David to the 12 tribe production, oh, maybe they got it right. IUIC, Most High still ain't with them. That's why they bucking up against well, they still teach that you got to cut your woman off if she ain't an Israelite. You can only have one wife. If you got more than one wife, we'll find out, we're going to kick you out, which is clearly not going against the scriptures. What else? Oh, the hell doctrine, which is new to me. The charagma. Oh, the new moon is the full moon. So, as the scripture said, it was waxing worse and worse. So the Most High is definitely not dealing with them if they teaching that the new moon is the full moon, or hell is the actual place that even Israelites are going to burn in. So I'm going to let it play, and I want you to watch the closed caption. Let me mute this.
Tell the story, and it's a pretty wild story about something happened. And remember, he's already said that 12 tribes, they tried to kill him, and now he's going to say something else that's pretty wild. Remember, this is his own religion that he comes out of, he's talking about.
Dominican Republic. And I said, don't go, because in Dominican Republic, there's a lot of prostitution because our people are poor. I said, don't go, so you're going to make a mistake. I'd say about maybe 11 of them went. They all came back and said, listen, we all fornicated. Now.
So you can see it, we all committed fornication. In other words, we're sleeping with pros.
Women were too beautiful. So they said, we don't want this Bible stuff no more. We would just...
This is what I wanted. They said, we don't want this Bible stuff no more. They said, we don't want this Bible stuff no more. We just
want to do what we're doing. So
we just want to do it what we're doing. In other words, go back into the world.
And then what happened was...
So he's saying that the 12 tribes had 11 people who went to the Dominican Republic on a mission trips and ended up spending time with women of the second oldest trade, or whatever people call it, instead.
Were they there on like a mission of something?
Yeah,
they were there doing
they
like.
Said, we're gonna...
They were there on a mission of something. Yeah, said we're going. Hold up.
I'm like, I told them don't go, but I was a young guy, but I'm like, they wouldn't. We're gonna go. We're gonna do it. So, all right. Sure enough, fornication all over the place, condoms flying. All kinds of stuff. So that's what's going on. Yeah, that was going on. So that.
I don't know if you heard of it. Sam said, quite a visual. This interview is funny. So this is between Sam Kestenbaum and Nathaniel, the leader of IUIC. This interview happened like in 2019 or so, but they're just now putting it out. So this
actual 2017.
This part's a little older, a little longer. There's a 5.5 minute clip.
He's looking at me like.
Okay, now first of all, I know this is.
No, this is 2017 vocab. This is 2017. Okay, so you got it. Now let me give you some precepts. So the question is, if the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is with the IUIC. When they were the 12 tribes, production with him, was the Most High with him? Nope, because it broke up. It came to naught. House of David, Most High was never with him. that split that they caused. It was them. He was one of the head guys. I wasn't a part of this. The split. They were. So this was wicked from the time of the split. So can you bring a clean thing out of an unclean thing? Who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean thing? Not one. So let me give you these precepts. Okay, Acts 5:38, which I open with. I'll read from the top. And now I say unto you, refrain from these men, and let them alone. For if this counsel or this work be of men, it will come to naught. Psalms 127, verse 1. Key point is in the first verse, maybe the second. You can read the whole chapter. A song, a song of decrees for Solomon. Except Yahweh build a house, they labor in vain that built it. Except Yahweh keep the city, the watchman waketh but in vain. In other words, it's a waste of time. If the Most High is not with you and you're doing all this stuff, it's a waste of time. You got a lot of these groups that just came up, they watch us on YouTube, and they just, gave himself a name, got a 12, really following the former One Westers, and they're just on their own. Now, could some of them be the elect? I hope so. Like Skiva and his sons. They went out rebuking demons, and the demons wound up beating their asses. So we're going to go from here. This is going to be short. Proverbs 21, 28 to 30. A false witness shall perish, but the man that heareth speaketh constantly. So don't we go out there and speak? And with all that back and forth shit, we were still out there speaking. We didn't take no breaks. It said a false witness shall perish. So that whole setup was perish. A wicked man hardeneth his face, but as for the upright, he directeth his way. There is no wisdom, nor understanding, nor counsel against the Most High. Now, what does it say in Proverbs 29 and 1? We should know that by heart. Matthew 15, 13 and 14. Give me a second here. the seven, the ones that in that remain of the seven, they turn their back on the plow. So if the Most High have mercy on them, the Most High will bring them, deliver them. If not, the Most High will take them out. Matthew 15, verse 13 and 14. But he answered and said, every plant which my heavenly Father hath not planted shall be rooted up. What happened to the ICGJC? They're a little church organization. They're insignificant. 14 verse, let them alone, they be blind leaders of the blind, and if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch. I'm not even going to go into these. The last precept is in the Apocrypha. As the palate tasteth diverse kinds of venison, so doeth an heart or mind of understanding false speeches. So if you're saying something that's not right, the Spirit is with you, you're gonna see through that false prophet. The simple believeth every word. We're not simple. With fair words and fine speeches, they deceive the heart of the simple. The heart of the simple. When you look up that word simple in the New Testament and even in the Old Testament in the Hebrew, it means to be naive. They can pull the wool over your eye, over your eyes. Excuse me. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. With that, I'm gonna say shalom. On to the next one. Shalom.